Hello, everybody, and welcome back if you're a returning viewer, and welcome if you're a first timer. I'd like to start off by apologising for my appearance again because you may have noticed my hair's a little bit different today. I didn't shower again this morning, although I did yesterday, so it's not as bad as it sounds. And my hair was a bit greasy, so I've been wearing a hat all day. And then when I took the hat off earlier, my hair was everywhere, so I thought, sod this, it's already greasy. So for a bit of a laugh, I gelled it back. So I think it looks okay. It looks quite formal. You know, if I was last time I had my hair like this was at an ex-girlfriend's prom actually. And my hair was a bit longer then, so it didn't stay back quite as well as this. I had to have a little ponytail as well. But yeah, so that explains the hair. First of all, I want to talk about Saturday night. It's now Wednesday, so Saturday was a number of days ago now. There was a gig in Lincoln that I wanted to go to, but the trains don't run very late, so it was kind of an excuse to go through to Lincoln and see a friend that I know that lives in Lincoln. The trouble is, though, I'd have had to stay over at her place, and it was decided that given our recent history, that me going over there and having to stay was a bad idea. So I didn't go. So instead I went over to Nottingham instead and saw some friends that I have in Nottingham, Ian and Rick, and we went out in Nottingham on Saturday night. Of course, we ended up at Rock City as we always do, and Rick and I were in the basement because the main room's far too commercial for my liking for the most part. When they start playing the cheesier stuff, and the stuff that I grew up with in my teens, like when they start playing like the Limp Biscuits and the Linkin Parks and stuff like that, yeah, I'm okay with that. Especially because by this point I'll already be quite drunk. But when we arrived, they were playing like dubstep and drum and bass and stuff upstairs, as well as like the commercial rock and metal and stuff that they play in there, which is not really my scene. So we went downstairs where actually they were playing Limp Bizkit's new album, Gold Cobra, in its entirety because the basement was pretty much empty when we arrived because we got there quite early. Anyway, we were there for about 10-15 minutes. Rick and I had a bit of a bounce around to Limp Bizkit, and we were just chatting, and in walks a blue-haired girl. And as many of you will know, I have a thing for redheads, but this girl, wow, the hair definitely drew my attention to her, but she was so cute as well. I like cute girls. She was absolutely adorable. Rick spotted her as well, and we agreed that she was a good-looking girl, but neither of us had the cojones, the balls to actually do anything about it, because neither of us ever do. So anyway, we stayed in the basement, carried on bouncing around. They played a lot of hardcore and deathcore and metalcore and things like that down there. So I was in my element. Eventually, Rick got really drunk and went off to the toilet and vomited, and then he just kind of disappeared for the rest of the night. Then I only saw him in passing, and we eventually found out that he'd been kicked out because when Ian and I got back at about 4 in the morning, he was in his room, passed out, and we found out in the morning that he'd been kicked out. Too drunk, so that's very Rick. Anyway, so I was on my own in the basement. I got chatting to some people. I've been talking to people on and off all night. I got chatting to some people. I started bouncing around with them instead. And the blue-haired girl was there, and I wasn't like stalking her or anything. The basement, I don't know if any of you have ever actually been, is not that big, so I could see her from pretty much anywhere in the room. So anyway, we'd caught each other's eye line a couple of times. We'd exchanged a couple of smiles, and a friend had sort of noticed this, and they were making it so that she and I had to sort of like be stood near each other. And eventually, I don't know where it came from. I just got the balls, and I suddenly just started talking to her. So I went over and said hello, and etc. etc. And I told her that I really liked her hair. I thought I'd lead with a compliment. She said she liked it, but she wasn't too sure about it, and I said that she should be sure about it because it was great. And I said that she was really beautiful. She was quite coy, and she sort of giggled at this. She kept touching my chest while we were talking, and eventually she came up and whispered in my ear. She said, my name's Alice. I won't give her full name, but she gave me her full name and said, make sure you like me on Facebook. I took this to be a good sign. So I was feeling pretty good afterwards. I don't normally approach girls in clubs at all. Like, I'll wait for me to be introduced to them, or I'll wait for them to approach me, or something like that, because I don't have the confidence to approach anybody. So yeah, anyway, we're friends on Facebook now, but I still haven't spoken to her. I dropped her a message to say hi, nice meeting you, etc. when I first added her, and she replied, and nothing else has come of it yet. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do anything about it. Because she lives in Nottingham, I don't. I'm going back to Scarborough soon. I think she's starting university next month as well, from what I can see. So I'm not even sure if it's even going to be worth bothering to try and arrange something else. But we'll see. I may do. But it was just nice to get back in the game, because my love life's always complicated. I've been hung up on a girl now for, well, it's not been that long, but it's long enough. I don't like people very often, so when someone comes along that actually makes me take notice. So anyway, I don't know what will happen if I even bother with Alice, but it was just nice to get back in the game. It was definitely a confidence boost. So after she asked me to add her on Facebook, when she pulled away, she gave me a kiss on the cheek as well. So yeah, it filled me with a lot of confidence, and I went up to the main room then after that, and joined up with everybody else we were with, and just danced to the really crap music for the rest of the night. But no, it was an enjoyable night. It was good. So that was my Saturday night. Today in the post, I got a letter from the tax office. I was a bit worried because I wasn't expecting anything, so I thought I was going to be owed money or something. It turns out I've got a bit of a tax refund from a couple of years ago. I knew I'd been overtaxed a couple of years ago, and I made complaints about it. But they kept sending me around the houses and giving me all these different forms to fill in, and nothing ever happened. Eventually today, I get a letter in one envelope from them saying that I'm owed a refund of £650, and then in the other envelope there was a cheque for £650. So that was nice. I'm not going to be able to spend any of that money though, because my overdraft, I think it's pretty much maxed out now. I haven't even looked for a while. So that will go towards paying some of that off. And I've got university starting back up in 4 weeks, and because I hadn't found any work over the summer, money's been really tight, and money's going to be really tight when I get back to uni. And I mean really tight, because my dad's already said he's not bailing me out like he normally does this time, which is fair enough, So we'll see. We will see. It's a bit annoying. I'm glad that it arrived now rather than like last week or even 2 or 3 days ago, because I probably would have blown a couple of £100 on it going to Leeds Festival. So I've got friends going, and they were trying to persuade me to go. And I had entered competitions for tickets, but I hadn't won anything. I wasn't going to pay £200 plus to go to Leeds. The lineup's not that good. For me, anyway, there was enough there for the full weekend to make it worth going, and with me having friends that were going, it would have just been fun to go. So I'm kind of glad that it arrived now, where it's a bit late for me to do anything with it. So I think I'll just leave it in my bank account now and pay off some of my debts. I tried to keep these videos to around 10 minutes, and I'm running out of time now. I was going to talk about my friend Matt, and looks like he's going to get divorced. I did mention it on my blog quite a bit yesterday, actually, maybe a bit too much. I don't think people really cared. I might save that for next time. I talked a bit longer about Saturday night than I meant to. So we'll see. So I'll put a line under Matt's divorce for now. Well, I say divorce, you know, it hasn't actually happened yet, but looks very likely to. But yeah, I spent the day with Matt, Zoe, and the kids again yesterday, and that's always fun. You know, the kids see me as Uncle Adam. You know, not really related, but Matt is like a little brother to me. You know, him and Zoe have always meant a lot to me. I've been there through. I was there the day that they met. I was there the day they got engaged. I was there when they got married. You know, I've always been there for the kids. Um, so yeah, they've got a tough time coming up, and I'm going to have to be there. I just hope if it does happen that I'm actually going to be available. Like I said, I go back to university in, well, I think it's like 3 or 4 weeks. So unless the ball gets rolling in that time, I'm going to have to come back from university to deal with this. Because there's no way I can let Matt do it on his own. Because you know, he just won't be able to handle it. But yeah, I'll talk about that next time probably. I'll talk about it a bit more. I don't know. I've talked about it quite a bit there, so maybe we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Comments are welcome as always. You know, suggestions for further topics also welcome. You know, questions, you know, shout outs, anything you want. I will talk and rant about anything. That's fine. You know, I'd like a lot more participation from the people that are viewing. I'm not getting that many views on my videos, but surely somebody has something to say. Surely somebody wants to ask me something. You know, let's make this more interactive, and let's go from there. Okay. Well, I'll leave that as it now, and I shall speak to you all soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye.